I'm just looking at you guys with some level of surprise. You guys are forgetting that politics is a numbers game.
It is. But right.
Politics is a narrative shaping business.
It is.
2, you have to convey your message in the manner in which the populace are going to comprehend the message.
So
if someone
The
tells
role
you,
of a politician is to what? Is to come and what? Make his policies known, not to come and say this one is a drunkard, that is a drunkard, this one eats pork. That's not the role of a politician.
fantastic.
To tell you there are politicians who have not communicated their policies in plain language. Let's pick Napo for instance.
No.
Give me one policy, one clear policy he has said. One.
I'm coming.
I didn't say 2 or 1. I'm waiting.
Listen to me. Listen to this.
Bro, one. Give me one.
Napo.
One policy.
Napo. See, I'm not disagreeing with you. If you have a group of people who clap when their leader tells you that $1 to 16 cedis is better than $1 to 3 cedis, 80 pesos.
but
You should know that.
but our platform.
You should know that. You should know that if you're trying to convince those people on policy lines, you lose the numbers.
Because he was the one who said he will put his presidency on the line.
Which he did.
Which he did.
Yeah, of course he did.
To fight Galamsey.
Yes.
When did he fight Galamsey? Galamsey is still going on.
That is why during the 2020 election, NDC won all the Galamsey
See our
areas.
water body. What are you saying?
You know the MPP
How is
lost.
he fighting? How is he fighting Galamsey? Galamsey,
Operation
they are
Flash Out.
still
Operation
dig-
Galam Stop.
Do you know
Operation Vanguard.
civilians? No, are you telling me that if Akufo-Addo wants to stop Galamsey today, he can't? Civilians went to how do you call it? The forest recently to arrest two Chinese men. Two Chinese men. Are you telling me Akufo-Addo can't stop Galamsey?
Are you saying
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to 45 TV. It's politics here on 45 TV. Today we promise to bring you a third-man commentary on what bothers the mind of the average Ghanaian. Brian and then Dry is here with me, Jude, on 45 TV. And today we intend on bringing you very, very interesting topics. JM, right?
Yeah.
Jam for
Go talk Sabi Mahama.
Jam for
Really?
John Mahama.
But the name they fit you.
Yeah, I'll be big man.
Right. How you doing?
How they very good. I'm good. What about you?
Oh, not bad. Brian, how's it going?
Everything is good.
Everything is good?
Yeah.
We missed you on the show.
Yes, it's been a while. I'm happy to be back.
It's good. We have a lot to talk about, but first and foremost, it's important to look at how things are panning out within our Ghanaian society. You know, once upon a time, we were all clamoring for politics to be about policies. Rightly so. Politics should always be about the policies we are able to put together and implement for the betterment of the average Ghanaian. But in 2024, the politics we are seeing has sunk so low, dry, to the extent that we hear political parties talking about, you know, someone being a drunkard and another person eating pork and whatnot. Brian, it baffles my mind, right? Or let me put it this way. It's mind-boggling to think that instead of telling the people or apologizing to the people, we think the people want to hear about the inebriation of somebody, or asking how much of an alcohol someone can consume, or how much of the fattening of the pork one can eat. It's sad, Brian. Your take on it?
Yeah, so when I heard it, I was very surprised, because politicians are supposed to come and tell us policies, not to talk about matters like this. I was like, it doesn't make sense. Like, why should a politician be talking about someone eating pork? How does that better the country? How does that make a country better? So for me, I was quite disappointed, and I feel like politics in Ghana right now, it's not even Ghana, in Africa. Right now, it's just like, it's very bad, very terrible. They don't talk about relevant stuff anymore, just like useless things which will not benefit the country. So, yeah, that's my take on it.
I'm just looking at you guys with some level of surprise. You guys are forgetting that politics is a numbers game.
It is. But right.
Politics is a narrative shaping business.
It is.
2, you have to convey your message in the manner in which the populace are going to comprehend the message.
So saying,
if you are saying that I should mount a podium and then speak the sophisticated language of policy to a group of people gathered somewhere in Asankrigwa who cannot even understand what monetary policy is, all they know and what would convince them to rally behind me is when I sensationalize and attack the character and attack the person of my opponent. And if that strategy works and delivers results, I would always use that tactics. So it's simple. So do not necessarily bash politicians for stooping so low in communicating to the masses. It is because that is the level at which the masses can be engaged.
I beg to differ, Dry.
Let me tell you this. Let me give an example. There is this politician, I don't know the country, but the news is well known on social media. The guy lost an election and his defeat message was this, that the populace could not comprehend the sophistry is in Kenya. Good. They could not comprehend the intelligence of his message. So they chose their level. It's like that. I mean, nobody.
That can be said in jest, but Dry. What the difficulty I'm having with comprehending what you're saying is this: there is a message to be sent to the people. You cannot tell me that you don't know the words to use or you don't know how to put your sentences together.
Listen.
For that matter, you should go and be talking about it.
Listen.
Pork eating as a Muslim or a whole MP for Achime Bakwa, mounting a podium to say that the ex-president is a drunkard. These things, they don't solve the price of tomato being
exactly 50
cedis.
They don't solve the problem of tomato.
And people do not come to these rallies, to be if for want of a better word, to be stirred up, right? In this manner, and it's not a concert party, is it?
I've told you that in as much as that message does not directly engage the populace on how their leaders or their prospective leaders are going to address a particular challenge when they assume office, right? That way of delivering your message to the populace will give you numerical advantage, which would help you gain power in the first place for you to start addressing the challenges. Brian, come in.
No, talk. Finish.
Yeah. So, see, I'm telling you this. When politicians go to meet organized labor, like OTUC, contractors, do you see the language? They are meeting industry experts. So they engage them.
So what are you saying, right? You are trying to say what? Ghanaian people are not educated or what?
Majority. No,
that's what you are saying. They are not educated to understand good policies and bad policies. What's the role of a politician?
If someone tells
the role of a politician is to what? Is to come and make his policies known, not to come and say this one is a drunkard, that is a drunkard, this one eats pork. That's not the role of a politician.
Fantastic. So I'm not telling you that. Okay,
yes.
Go ahead.
So if you're a politician and you come out and you say those things, are you doing your work as a politician?
Fantastic. Are you saying that at no point in time has these politicians been able to communicate their policies in clear language and in plain language? Please. They've been able to do it. So there are platforms, there are avenues for which they communicate their policies in plain language.
No, I can tell you there are politicians who have not communicated their policies in plain language. Let's pick Napo, for instance.
No.
Give me one policy, one clear policy he has said. What? One.
I'm coming.
I didn't say 201. I'm waiting.
Good. Listen to me. Listen to this.
Bro,
Listen to this.
One. Give me one.
Napo.
One policy.
Napo.
This is getting very dry.
One policy.
You wait. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Hold on. This is getting very interesting. Viewers, this is why you should always tune in to 45 TV. Politics on 45 TV. Subscribe, like, and comment. Today, trust me, the kitchen is really hot. If you can stay in there, you have to get out of the kitchen. Dry and Brian are it, and then we hope to do justice to the topics.
Guys, let's.
No, you've not given me one policy. One policy. Okay. It's been 5 minutes. One policy.
Hold on. Listen.
One clear policy Napo has stated.
Will you make me talk?
Apart from saying God sleeps in the
evening. Make me talk.
Okay, I'm making you. Okay, good.
Answer.
Great. Understand the nature in which political, parties,
Charlie put their message too much. I said one policy. Right. He has said.
Napo, if I want to engage the question directly, right, I'll just tell you, Napo has been able to re-echo the credit system idea that Bawumia sees is coming to implement when he gets power, right? Which is a policy that is on record that Napo has stated and put across to the public. And it's a fact. What I'm saying is this. You have two people on a team, right? Their goal is not just to tell you that, we are going to do X, Y, Z to deliver socioeconomic emancipation to you. Beyond doing so, they are also supposed to attract and garner numbers. And when it comes to mobilizing numbers, the tactics is not wholesale. The tactics is a cocktail of everything.
A cocktail of pork eating.
Even if it gets to that level where you know that they are a group of people, if they are 1,000 or they are 100, even if they are one, like we say, one vote even matters in election, right? You always get that person who will be convinced on that line. So the whole idea is that we are finding strategies to build and increase our political gain. That is all.
Right, but I hear you and I hear you, Brian. The point I'm making here is we've done a lot of work as a nation, right? We've done a lot of work as a nation to bring some level of decorum and decency to our politics. Now, as much as you're trying to talk about the fact that this is good for politicking and whatnot, once upon a time, the so-called purveyors of Kebimami Kebi Amame, right? Amamu, right? Said they are the
intellectuals,
the purveyors of free media and free speech and whatnot. Today, you and I sit here and we've seen how there's a huge degeneration in some media houses, right? As to how they just come on air and then they speak without any value, right? They just hurl expletives on people in the name of running a media house, all in the name of what Kebami Kebi Amemo can do. Once upon a time, insults and expletives were the center of our politics. This same group I'm talking about said, "Can you obey?" Right? Talk about what you can do, how you can help the people. We have, and I say, we've come a long way, right? Where beyond manifestos, when we engage people, we are engaging them in a dialect where they can understand, and then we also tell them that this is what we can do.
See, I'm not disagreeing with you. If you have a group of people who clap when their leader tells you that $1 to 16 cedis is better than $1 to 3 cedis, 80 pesos.
But
you should know that.
No, but our platform.
You should know that. You should know that if you're trying to convince those people on policy lines, you lose the numbers. No, if you have a group of people, who clap when somebody tells you that one Ghana card is better than interchanges,
do you know?
You know that
most of these people clap. Most of these people clap. They actually know it's not true. They are fanfullers. you meet the same person who is clapping in the MPP rally, the same person who go and clap in NDC rally.
Oh, have you seen that?
It's not like
notice this.
It's not like they
Once-
don't know. They know it's bad.
Once clapping
And
comes
most
in,
of these people clapping, they are paid.
But then again,
exactly. Once clapping comes in, it helps the optics.
yeah.
In fact, it even helps
then
my
again,
point.
Brian,
You are saying that
Right.
people clap when I said it.
Right.
People cheer when I said it.
I think you're talking about the. We're talking about the die in a wool supporters of either of this party.
Yes.
Because on Metro TV last week, there was this gentleman who said the country is really gone down the drain, but for him, he's still standing with them, with a political party, right? He says that no matter what, he's still going to stand with his political party. This guy, when you tell him that a goat, right, is dancing pan logo, and this pan logo dance can bring you some sort of financial freedom, he would agree and clap, right? But we are not speaking to such a person who is so, excuse my French, but then inward looking and narrow minded, right? We're speaking to discerning minds, and our platform is for discerning minds. We come here, criticize, constructively the things we are seeing, how we want our country, to be. You are right, to say this about those who, no matter what, they are so thick in their ways, right? But then again, that is not where we want the country to go.
Exactly. See, let's not engage this conversation in what ought to world. Let's engage the conversation in what is world, right? Let's not run away from the realities that we are faced with and we are facing in Ghana. So I'm telling you that, see, politics is a cocktail of strategies and tactics. You can never discredit that in as much as it's morally bad. I agree with you that it's morally bad to attack the person and assassinate characters in the bid of convincing people to get numerical advantage over your opponent. That you and I are on the same level. But I'm telling you that it's like agenda. Agenda no get formula. You can't tell me not to insult you like this or drag you like that. So far as my goal is to get into your skin and tease you to the point where you feel very depressed, for you to delete your account on social media. My goal is achieved.
No, but you are not called. This not you are called to state your policies. You are not called to drag people.
Listen,
so if I've called you to state your policies and you are not doing what you are called to do.
If I tell you that
there's time for agenda and there's time for you to actually state your policies.
I've told you a policy NAPO has stated, right? Clear, it's fact.
You didn't say what.
I told you. You
didn't say what. NAPO hasn't stated any policy.
What you need to do is that, see, there are, excuse my language, stupid people in the population that you want to convince to come to your side. And how to convince them is to speak the language that they understand, that they can buy into, which includes saying things that align with your values, your cultural practice and preferences, religious practice and preferences.
No, but there's a place and time for that. That's what I want you to understand.
What time is that? What time is that?
What time is that?
What time is that? What time is that?
What time is that? There is
what time is that?
Just as Brian and JM Dry, are going at each other. We have the minority going at the majority in parliament. The biggest issue here, two big issues. We're going to talk about the first one. Is the drip project. It's a road project in Salaga. We have a vice president who takes credit if it's looking good, if it's looking bright. He's gonna say he is the brain behind it.
Brain, yeah.
If things tend to go downward or downhill, he advised, and then his advice was not taken, and he knows nothing about it. That has become the song we are singing for this project, the drip project. Minority in parliament is of the view that they somewhat influence this road project. MPP is saying no, it is the brainchild of the vice president, and then for that reason they are building these roads. Brian, there's a tussle going on.
Yeah, let's JM go.
Let JM go.
Yeah. You can go.
You go run, my nigga. You go run. I mean, for someone who,
but Brian is not running.
Okay.
He's matching you boot for boot.
Oh, he can match me boot for boot. Don't worry.
But
But yeah, I don't understand.
I
You're
don't
an NDC
I don't
guy.
think it's not working. I
And
think
you're
it's not.
defending MPP.
See, your father has this one.
Has what?
Your father get this thing. Galamsey concern.
My puppy
I
get
will-
galam.
we don't talk about them.
Your uncle they do
We
galamsey.
don't talk about time. Make no make a
I
ball.
beg my puppy no do
Make no make a
galamsey.
ball.
I beg you.
Okay, so back to the drip project.
our
Right?
viewers, no, please hold on. Viewers, it's getting hot here, and
So me they get contact from the government. So they can't tell me
My
say
puppy no dey do galamsey. I beg you.
this
Make no one come listen. I beg you. Me I no get political part.
These
No one get
accusations,
political
these
part.
accusations from Brian and Dry too. They are both baseless. They have no basis. So we're going to stick to the facts here. And
No dry on I get evidence.
no.
you get evidence.
Yeah,
you
dry
get
on I
evidence.
get
please,
evidence.
You get evidence.
Please, 45.
It did here.
Politics,
No, make I take show you.
no. I don't want it.
Oh, okay.
Politics on 45 TV dissociates itself from these earlier comments, right? We dissociate ourselves from it. Brian. No, Brian.
Yeah.
I take it from Dry. Dry, your take on the drip issue.
Oh, the drip issue is very simple. I don't think we need to go into the details of the facts, being that, I mean, in a bid to improve our roads in our various
But why are
MMD
politicians fighting over
MMD
why is the
MMDs and all of that? I mean, the government thought of rolling out this district roads improvement program or something like that, right? But what is making this matter gain traction on social media is that Bawumia claims
he claims
that
it was brainchild.
it's a birth of his idea and his committee, to the point that he asserts that Parliament had no hands in it.
He did.
And even the funds that supported and sponsored the initiative came from his committee, which is a blatant lie that has been refuted. Granted, it's not even a blatant lie. Let's even say it's true. It pokes holes of inconsistency in his campaign message that you cannot tell at one point in time he chooses to advance a convenient narrative and put that across to the public. In that, this is the same person on record to have said that, see, he is not in the driving seat. As a vice president, he's the mate.
Yes. That's what he said. Yeah.
Yes. He says that all the things he does are more like advisory. He's not really at the helm of affairs to really exert his authority and see that those policies of his are implemented. And it's the same person at the turn of the moon or the clock tells you that, oh, this one, it was solely my initiative.
Yes, when it's bad, it's not for him.
When
But
it's
when
bad,
it's good,
exactly.
it's for him.
So this, let's even say that his thoughts or his take on the drip initiative is even true. It then proves to you that there is some level of inconsistency in the message, and to some extent, it proves to you that he's a liar.
Not our words. Dry.
He's a liar because
Dry said Bawumia is a liar.
No. I will not take it back. I will allow Bryce to speak.
Yeah. Oh, but you can't tell me
because I think the media has been getting something wrong. One who peddles falsehood,
I didn't say Bawumia is a liar.
But if he peddles falsehood,
you're a liar.
And there's something to authenticate the veracity that which you are saying is false, then you are.
Yes, if the accuracy of what you are putting out there is verified to be false, that's lying.
Okay.
And in fact, back to the drip project, evidences has surfaced that it's not true. It actually went through Parliament for Parliament to get.
Yes, let me quickly address something. So our viewers, you need to know this, that sometimes we try to be euphemistic and then we employ semantics, saying that, oh, he's being untruthful and whatnot. He's telling lies. A lie is a lie, So we have to allow people to. It's a platform we have here that allows people to express their views respectfully. And respectfully, if you're lying, you're telling lies, you're a liar. Go on.
The beauty of all of this is this, that the company that was contracted to get this machinery to the country had to deal with external parties for this to pull through. And how can a country have dealings with external parties without going through Parliament? It doesn't make sense, right? The last time that we try something like this was during the COVID era, where the then health minister sidestepped parliamentary due diligence processes in the name of it is urgent, it's an emergency, it's a public health, national security problem. So we went to procure vaccines through a third person or through a middleman, and that plunged the state into some level of losses and a level of debt. And even with that, the whole issue had to be revisited by a parliamentary committee. So it tells you that, see, let's even say that I'm ignorant on the facts, right? Fundamentally, this cannot hold, this cannot happen. That someone who, one, claims that he doesn't have the power to enact and enforce and see that certain policies that are solely his see the day of light and become materialized, is telling you that, this is purely my initiative. It doesn't, I mean, I don't know how you can tell me 1 times 1 is 4. It doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I agree with what Dry said.
You agree with him?
Yeah,
you agree with him? Because there's another topic coming. It's interlinked. He accused you of something. I dissociated with it. Yeah, I said you're not part of that. It's a Galamsey issue. A Galamsey is a big problem in Ghana.
Very big problem.
Very big problem in Ghana.
You know, say you agree with me, so Galamsey, I don't go press your neck.
Bro, they can't press your neck, stuff.
So you take on Galamsey. You know, I think that the president, I lay this at the footstool of the president. We've talked about Galamsey here.
Yes.
Many episodes, right? I lay this again at the footstool of the president. You know, he's just put up a very cosmetic approach to dealing with Galamsey. Some have said, not me and not anybody here, some have said that, you know, he's neck deep in it himself through his apparatchiks. You know, so what's your take on it?
Yeah, on the Galamsey issue, I'm very disappointed in Adodi, because he was the one who said he will put his presidency on the line.
Which he did.
Which he did.
Yeah, of course he did.
To fight Galamsey.
Yes.
When did he fight Galamsey? Galamsey is still going on.
That is why during the 2020 election, NDC won all the Galamsey areas.
Our water body. What are you saying?
You know the MP
How is he fighting Galamsey? Galamsey,
Operation Flash Out.
They are still
Operation Galam Stop.
Do you know
Operation
civilians?
Vanguard.
Are you telling me that if Akufo-Addo wants to stop Galamsey today, he can't? Civilians went to how do you call it, the forest recently to arrest two Chinese men. Two Chinese men. Are you telling me Akufo-Addo can't stop Galamsey?
Are you saying he didn't do that?
How did he do that?
After putting together Operation Galam Stop, Operation Flash Out, Operation this one Vanguard, and even got to the point where we had interministerial committees on Galamsey fight.
And what has happened?
To the point that during the 2020 election, Akufo-Addo and the MPP lost majority of the seats within the Galamsey areas. Tells you the extent to which he was fighting against Galamsey at the cost and at the expense of his presidency.
Bro, it's politics. As you said, politics is a what? It's a cocktail of what?
Brian.
What did you say? Tactics and what? Strategies.
Brian.
No,
I want you to know, hold on. I'm moderating this. I don't need to say it. I'm not moderating it at all. Right?
Yeah.
Brian, we're going to have that back and forth, but I want the viewers to pick something from whatever it is that you're saying, right?
Yes,
so it's important. So it's important.
Just don't lie. Don't lie.
He's interrupting me.
No, he can. Okay. He can heckle, but you know, then I would advise you to minimize the heckling.
Please.
Right? But then, first 4 minutes. You have it, make your point.
Okay.
If he heckles you, stick to your point.
I'm not even going to mind.
Yes.
So as I was saying, for a president who told us that he will put his presidency on the line to fight Galamsey and has not done anything about Galamsey 2024, he hasn't done anything. It means he lied to us. He didn't, because people ask, are you telling me if Akufo-Addo wants to stop Galamsey? He is the head of the Ghana Armed Forces. If he wants to stop Galamsey today, he can't stop Galamsey. He can. Normal civilians, 2 of them, went into the forest and arrested 2 Chinese men. And they are telling me a president of Ghana cannot stop Galamsey. It doesn't make sense to me. Because when you look at our water bodies right now, I was listening to a certain farmer.
Yeah, but the argument can be made.
And Galamsey is a very sensitive issue. It hurts me when people like what Dry is doing, like he makes it look like it's not like it's a sensitive issue. Like it's water people have depended on over the years, drinking water. People use it for, recently I was listening to a farmer. He was saying that they've polluted the water to the extent that they can't even use the water for farming. So how does such a man who depends on farming for his livelihood and everything to earn income, how does this man earn money to feed his family? How does this man make money for himself?
So I have a question for you.
Okay.
So would you then say that man's plight affected His Excellency's policy, which is the planting of food and jobs, because there's no water to
exactly.
Yeah.
Recently, Ghana Water issued a statement. Yeah, there was water shortage somewhere, and what they said was, because of Galamsey activities, the water is not clean enough to supply to certain areas. I went to Ghana in December. As soon as I opened the tap, brown.
Boy, they lie.
As soon as I'm telling you.
Boy, they lie.
I'm telling you that as soon as I opened the tap, it was brown.
Hey.
I had to leave it on for some time before it, even now the water, they've added so much chemicals to the extent that sometimes when you open the water, it's white before it becomes transparent. That's how serious it is. Because I was listening to someone from Ghana Water. He said the chemicals they use to purify the water, now they have to use about 5 times more. 5 times more chemicals. Yeah. And this is water people still drink. So is it good for someone who drinks the water? And Dry come and sit here and say Akufo-Addo is trying to help stop Galamsey. He's the president. He can stop Galamsey today. If Galamsey is still going on, he's the general overseer of Ghana. If Galamsey is still going on in Ghana, he can do something about it. If it's still going on, he's not doing anything.
Right.
And I blame him.
Charlie, I'll start with this. One, it is a lie to say that ordinary Ghanaians went into the forest to arrest 2 ordinary civilians went to the country. Sorry, ordinary Ghanaians went to the forest to arrest 2 Chinese men, right?
But we saw it on video.
They were journalists. They have some level of influence.
But they're Ghanaians.
They have some level of influence.
Who is an ordinary Ghanaian?
Right?
No, but they're Ghanaians.
They are Ghanaians.
To the point I'm going to agree and side with him will be on the fact that if it was just you and I who are in Ghana with no influence or whatsoever, walk into that forest and start arresting people. Already, this is the inherent nature of people in response to certain people that they know. If, let's say, a media person walks into or walks close to you with cameramen, right, videoing, right, you will be scared to react in a particular way because you will be thinking that these people are working with other people who are probably remotely monitoring what is happening on the ground. So that gives these journalists some advantage.
I wouldn't be surprised if the people working there didn't even know the journalists. I wouldn't be surprised if those 2 Chinese men didn't know the journalists.
Let's hear JM's
as for whether you be surprised or not, that one, them are there. But I just want to lay this fact clear that these people are people with influence. The kind of car they even drove to the forest, kind of ballistics they were even holding that they can pull off. It's even an advantage to them. But you and I cannot walk into that forest and go and say because we are ordinary civilians are going to arrest people. That cannot happen. Okay, so let's give credit to the people. Let's say that the media is working. Let's say it that way. That way we are giving credit to the media for stepping out of their radio stations and TV stations and then beyond advocacy, doing certain things tangibly. That we need to do. Let's not say it's ordinary Ghanaians. Let's say some people in the media are taking the fight even further beyond advocacy to working real on the ground.
No one is taking credits from the media.
What I want to say is this. Akufo-Addo, right, to some extent, has lived by his words. That he's going to put his presidency on the line, right? And we saw it when he instituted certain task forces like the Operation Flashout, when we had the Operation Vanguard, we had the Operation Galamsey, then we had, even to the point, we had an interministerial committee for this purpose.
And we know what happened with
Good. So for someone to actually go all out to constitute these task forces and these committees to fight Galamsey, and for individuals on these very task forces to go and be working counter what the head wants to achieve. You cannot lay the blame at the doorsteps of the head.
No, we can. This could be a window dressing.
Okay, what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is this, at least acknowledge and appreciate the effort to the point that not just one task force, not just 2 task forces, not just 3 task forces.
Do we need 5? Do we need 5?
The reason we got to 5 and we can even go to 10 is because one failed, we learned from it, we made the second one, it failed, learned from it, made the third one, failed, we learned from it. But again, you know what? Let's put all this agenda aside.
Yes, let me quickly address that. That task force session. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's taxpayers' money.
Fair.
You are putting different people on these boards. You are paying them per diem, right? Just to do a job that you don't necessarily need a task force and can be executed if you really want to execute it. That is why I said that could it be a window dressing tactic where there's a foot in the door. Yes. We're going to just put together something so that the populace will think that
what you are saying is a conspiracy theorist standpoint, right?
I don't know.
You are discrediting the efforts of someone who is making it.
I am not.
I'm saying that.
I am not.
Okay.
I am not.
But will you admit? Okay. Will you admit that
right.
by virtue?
Let me make this point.
Make the point.
Yes. We've had multiple task force to address a single problem. In fact, these task forces have all failed. The last task force actually met a gargantuan failure where the revered venerable Professor Frimpong Boateng, and the NPP chairman from Cape Coast, you see something, right? Where at each other's throats, as in who owns a
consignment,
who owns subtractors that got banned, right? And how it was clearly caught on tape that the president says that selected sites should be given to some people to the Galamsey to help funnel some funds into the party. So it is no conspiracy at all on my part to state that these things are just put in place, to one, shroud the lenses of Ghanaians, and 2, it's not a real cutthroat solution to what the problem really is. So to call it conspiracy theory when you and I have heard the tapes, have seen the whole idea being exposed in the last task force, it's wrong on your part to say that I'm putting up conspiracies. 1 task force, 2 task force, 3 task force, we still had zero solutions.
Zero.
We went up onto the 5th task force to really unveil what this government was all about with this task force.
Jude.
And I have to give credit before you come in. I have to give credit to Anas. If not for Anas, we wouldn't have been able to see the depth of corruption that was going on with all this task force.
Jude, you've made a lot of assertions here, and you've tried to project them as my opinion or as my standpoint, in the sense that you are saying that you and I heard the tape. I didn't hear any tape.
No. You are
one. Let me just make this clear.
The viewers heard you when I talked about the tape. You actually acceded to it.
I didn't accede to anything.
You did.
By doing what?
You did when I talked about the tape that was out.
And what did I do?
You said yes.
No, by virtue of nodding, I'm noting the things you are saying. That's why I'm doing this.
All right.
It doesn't in any way means that I'm saying affirming them. What I'm saying is this. Are you saying that it is evident, it is a matter of fact out there, that it is on record that the president is saying that, let us distribute and allocate these various sites to these various people for them to do Galamsey? Is that what you're saying?
That was what was called on tape.
Is that what you're saying?
That was what was called on tape.
I think that tape exists for everybody to go and take a listen to.
I have one question for you. I have a question for you.
Ask me.
If do you think if Akufo-Addo wanted to stop Galamsey and what is going on right now, do you think he could end it?
He could not end it.
He can't stop it
by himself.
If he wanted to stop it as a president of Ghana, if he wanted, do you think he can stop it?
The funny thing is, I'm going to make a very bold statement.
He's not stopping it.
Do you think he could stop it?
Are you saying that it's not making an attempt to stop it?
No, I'm asking you if.
I'm also asking you,
gentlemen. I want to make a very bold. I want to make a bold statement.
Make a bold statement. Make a bold statement.
Right.
Make a bold statement.
The chairman of the NPP in Ashanti region is actively engaging in Galamsey. And he has been exposed, and he said, "Oh, he just went to legal get some documents or something." I'm talking about Chairman Wontumi.
Contamine.
Yes,
guys. Okay, you know what, guys? See, let's put all these back and forth aside, and let's talk about this.
Contamine, not contamine.
Yeah, contamine. Yes. Let's put this. Let's address the Galamsey issue. See, Galamsey is really, really like it's a big problem. I think the extent to which the Galamsey menace has got to cause for national security intervention, right? To the extent that we have our waters polluted, to the extent that the recent video I saw on social media or in the news tabloids suggests or show evidences that people have dug Galamsey pits and the roads that were constructed at a very expensive cost to the state. Now, those roads or that particular road is caving in as a result of Galamsey activity. He has already highlighted and already submitted its extensive effects on water and even livelihood and livestock and farming and all that, right? But the truth of the matter is this. We need to start making this a big campaign as to how we are really going to end this. And what I see our leaders doing in parliament is what I'm really
I'm disgusted by another press assertion that you polluted the water more than us.
Yes. How does that it tells sense? You that in Ghana,
it means he's even involved.
There's a likelihood.
Yes.
No, it's
there's a likelihood.
You did it more than me. What does it mean?
Of course. Of course.
He's involved.
Of course.
Try and make your point.
My point is this. Another press statement was very reckless and was very these people don't drink the water you drink. These people are probably part of the people who import water.
Yeah.
So you are drinking muddy water, opening your tap, you are seeing brown water if I'm home. You are somebody saying that the kind of water they are planting, they order food from outside if I'm home. Planting for food and jobs. No, they are not feeling it. Anybody who is not going through the conditions you are going cannot empathize with you. And that is why you see them being apathetic, right? So it's normal. What I'm saying is I'm not shocked, right? But this is my concern. My concern is this, that when it comes to standards in the country, we don't have any standard. Our standard is, or our benchmark is the failure of the previous regime. Imagine that you lost election as a political party because of certain failures that were very apparent and that people could not bear it. And now we voted for Brian to come into power. Instead of Brian to elevate the standards for us and let's say compare us to the best performers in the sub-region at least, right? Brian is now comparing his performance to yours. That is why we are getting that kind of statement from Anodom Pre. And I'm not surprised that you have a rep from Anodom Pre's caucus here in this room right now. And even on this panel. Right? Wearing black. They will always tell you that, see, you did worse than we did. They won't tell you that, we matched a higher standard or matched a higher threshold. The comparison is just you. MPP. Essence when you change. They say two cry and look at the mentality.
Quite disturbing.
So it's the problem is with standards and how and to what benchmarks we hold ourselves against. If we are able to, and the funny thing is this, these people have all experienced life outside. They all know what quality living standards look like.
That is why, I think statements from Kennedy Japan saying that the citizens treat them like servants.
We vote for you. You are who?
It's quite troubling. Yeah. This is what Kennedy Japan is saying.
Yeah, me, Kennedy Japan is my man. Well, I think I understand him on this matter because when you look at
a politician not supposed to serve.
No, like they are supposed to serve, but then his point, like in Ghana, if you realize, we don't respect our politicians.
Do they respect us?
We don't.
They don't respect themselves.
We don't.
If people are doing Galamsey,
can I land?
And people are
making a point.
We don't
make a point.
We don't. We are done with Galamsey.
Make a point.
We don't respect our politicians. So Kennedy Japan like this. If it's coming from him, I understand him.
A little background. Let me give you a little background.
Every politician is a bad nut.
No, let me give you a little background as to why Kennedy said that. They were debating an ally in Parliament. In the ally that said that actually says that the road regulations, MP should be given an escort, and 2, they should be allowed to defy the red light, and then they should be given a siren. So on that basis, Kennedy is saying that we don't respect MPs, we don't respect their position as politicians, right? Now that I have given you context as to why he said that, let me say this. You have traveled a lot, right? You've been to the UK and other places, right?
US.
They sit in buses. These are the politicians, the MPs. They sit in trains, right? If the system is working, why do you need to be cluttered with bodyguards and whatnot? Why won't you be a free person to engage with your compatriots? These politicians that sit in these high-end cars, right? When there's a program outside in the US or something, they make them sit in a bus. The Queen passed, and guess what they did to the African politicians, the African presidents?
That is just one event. You can't use that event to make it's statistically flawed to make argument with that.
Yes, you can't. Jude, you can't. Yes.
You can't use that one.
Because even when they were in the bus, they were protected. Like it was still. It's not just like random.
Well,
yeah, they were protected. They had convoy following them, being protected. And
what I'm trying to say is that, well, you're just cherry picking.
No, but bus is not a bus. No, you're making it look like when you say bus, I see bus is like
if I can make my
true. It's not like any.
So what you guys are doing?
It was a classic bus.
It's misleading.
Football players, Ronaldo, who is a billionaire. People sit in buses. No. So if you say bus,
if I can make my point,
what should they have done? They should have gotten individual cars for all of them.
Yes.
Or every single one of them.
They don't
sell Anka car park na Kebema. Or
well, I'm still going to make my point.
Make your point.
You guys are cherry picking, right? That bus scenario was just one of, and just talked about European politicians sitting in the trains and also on the buses with their citizens or with their constituents.
Like who? Like
how many times?
Okay, you know what?
When it's close to election.
No, in Denmark.
You know what? Let him respond to.
In Denmark, the Prime Minister of Denmark rides a bicycle. Are you aware?
For exercise.
Are you aware?
For exercise.
Are you aware?
You know how many people are protecting
yes.
him?
You know TV services that have scouted the area and
you know how snipers on rooftops say,
yeah.
I beg.
Charlie. Let him say what he's saying. He's saying that what Kennedy Japan said. He's right. Let him defend it. Let him justify it.
So I feel like, you see, it may look like, I feel like the statements Kennedy Japan made is a compound of a lot of issues which has compounded.
Like what?
And he just made, like, people insulting politicians,
of course,
people, and that's why he said that. So I don't think it's just based on how do you call it? Based on what was discussed in Parliament. I think it's just a lot of issues. A lot of issues which have been compounded. Because you said something about politicians, do they respect themselves?
Yeah.
Kennedy Japan is a respectable politician, a respected man in society who respects himself and people respect him. So you saying, do politicians respect? Some don't respect themselves, but when you brand it as all of them, that's why I have an issue. So Kennedy Japan saying that, I don't have a problem. But if it was any other politician,
have you been to Kennedy's constituency?
I
have.
Somebody flies people out. Somebody gives them scholarship.
Is that the most important thing in the constituency?
the things Kennedy Japan does for his constituency, the money Ghana gives to him cannot do it.
Well,
No.
He flies.
You're not being fair. You're not being fair to me. You're not being fair to me.
I will let you.
No, not even let me come in.
No.
Let me just
I
jump
want
in
to make
myself.
a point.
Don't make a point. Don't make it. No.
Allow me to moderate the program. Yeah. Kennedy.
For somebody to sit on
Kennedy,
TV, right? On TV, right?
Yeah.
And then publish
Right.
the image, the photograph of an undercover journalist and say that if you see him, kill him.
Dry. Allow me to moderate.
You know how sacrosanct life is.
Dry.
But that's not what you're talking about.
Allow me to moderate.
Yes,
the show.
for somebody to do that on television, and the next few days the person is dead.
Dry.
But that's not what you are talking about.
They're telling that person is honorable enough
No. Dry.
because
Did
the
he
person
say-
fly some people out.
He said kill him.
He said kill him.
Brian.
Talk to me.
Allow me to moderate the show.
No, then tell him to stop interrupting.
Yes.
Moderation.
Thank you very much. You know, Kennedy.
We cannot say that Kennedy Japan is
No. That's an old issue. Please, Jude, go on. Dry is being controversial.
Yeah. So, Kennedy is on record to have said that he develops the MPP side of his constituency, and woe betide you if you don't vote for him, right? Then he's not going to develop that side. I've been to his constituency.
I say not.
I don't know his electorate, but the place, the roads, they are not the greatest. They are not the greatest.
Not
right?
the best safe.
So yes, he can do all this individually with some of his constituents, but then collectively, I know MPs don't build roads.
Yes, thank you.
Don't get me wrong. MPs don't build roads, but I'm trying to understand how much of policy he influences. He influences in parliament. That I don't know.
Mean one bill, private members bill.
I don't know.
That
right?
Kennedy Japan has championed in parliament.
When you've not heard of it, that's
he's
not doing anything.
Tell me one.
No, don't.
I can tell you. I can mention an MP and tell you what they've championed.
Relax.
Yes.
Like which MP? Which MP?
Right.
Which MP? You say something.
Okay,
Which
Ablakwa.
MP?
Ablakwa is championing a private members bill to fight against politicians wanting to acquire state. And this one, how do you call it?
Do you know what? No, don't,
this guy.
Don't make it look
This guy,
like
Xavier Sosu, champion.
No,
he's the first time this one.
He not championing anything in parliament. Doesn't mean he's not doing anything for his constituency.
You're not saying that.
And Ghana.
I'm not saying that.
Dry.
Do you know what?
You guys are taking away from what we are discussing.
Okay. Go ahead.
You need to know that you're taking away from what we are discussing.
Go ahead.
Right? The topic actually is politicians saying they are not servants. Politics is service. In the words of Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is he didn't come to politics or he didn't become president, right, to enrich himself. He came to serve. And if Kennedy belongs to his party, he should be looking up to Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. What are we seeing now? We are seeing the reverse of that, where politicians are using the whole platform or the thought of they being politicians to bully citizens and steal from citizens, right?
After we even pay them with our own money.
And on top of it, we come to defend them, right? We defend them, and this enables their demagoguery.
In other words, they're breaking down for us. We don't believe the
break
them down. Give you
what the English the last week.
With the play small, with the small play, with the play demagoguery. Yeah, see there.
You know, we made
explain for our viewers.
They say it in English.
We've turned them into demigods.
So that's
demagogue.
Yeah,
demigods. Please, the meaning is demigods.
Right. Please, your turn. Please.
See, you've taken the excitement and the zeal with which I want to really attack this topic or the subject. Right. It's simple. As a matter of principle, fundamentally, people we elect, people we give mandate to, are supposed to serve us. There's no other way to look at it, right? When it comes to respecting them, it's a moral and ethical standpoint. But judicially, or legislatively or legally, whatever I would put it, they are mandated to serve us, right? Either than that, they should have put themselves into a place of power and then demand that we worship them. But we casted ballots for them to be where they are, which is why it is our tax that is used to pay them. They themselves do not go and seek money, grants and aids and bonds to pay themselves. We pay them. So in other words, I don't even know what other concept this befits if it is not a master and a servant relationship where I pay you to do work for me, right? So if Ken is saying that we think of them as servants, what was he thinking is the core of being a leader for a society? What does he think it constitutes? Does he think it's for him to come and lord himself over the people? Is that what he was thinking all this while? Then it tells you that fundamentally the perception and the concept or the construct of leadership that our politicians have is flawed, which is why they do the things they do. Because if somebody has that concept and construct of servitude as a leader who has been given mandate by the people to serve the people, you will see it in the way they conduct themselves and the way they behave. They will tell you, oh, instead of a V8, see, I'll ride Okada. Instead of a V8, you can actually build certain level of cohesion to the point that your life wouldn't be threatened. People will volunteer to safeguard your life. That you don't need to demand security at a chase. Right? That is the level to which servants and their masters establish relationships to the extent that when their masters are even dying, masters even include these servants in their will at the expense of their biological children.
At the expense of their biological children. We cannot wrap it all up without talking about the EC. 91 days to elections. So it's important we talk about Electoral Commission. We talk about the road to December 7th. In this weekend edition, we realized in the news, or we read in the news, that in Vli constituency, a constituency of about 880 people, the voters register accounts for some 2,500 plus electorates who are going to vote in the December elections.
Listen,
no, it's not missing. 2,000 electorates.
We be 800.
Yes.
Where they publish the voter register, say, go check on name. As you go, they check, we count no. Now read 2,000. Meanwhile, we don't want a body for the town inside.
The NDC is asking for
explanation,
an audit of the voters register in the face of this discrepancy before December 7th. The EC is dragging feet.
EC says they won't actually.
Yes.
The CPP supported the NDC's call for this particular audit.
Yeah.
And the EC says they won't do it. In fact, there was a meeting, there's supposed to be a meeting, I don't know the name. And the NDC said, okay, we want this meeting to be televised. EC says, no, we want to have it behind closed doors. What exactly is the EC hiding?
It's supposed to be a transparent, free and fair election.
Brian,
do you get it? I feel like what the cards they are playing is very dangerous because it's close to election and they are doing this. And with what Akufo-Addo has said in the past, saying that he won't hand over, how do you call it, his presidency power or power to anyone if it's not Baumia. And with what is happening right now, it's like, bro, this could bring chaos to Ghana. Do you get it? Because if MPP, let's say the EC doesn't do what the NDC party is requesting and MPP should come into power, it might not look good for the country. So
yeah, and JM, it's not only the Vli constituency. And then pockets of that too has been found with the whole constituency.
That area since 2020, so what happened to them when they were the Sao people, right? We have a group of people that do not have representation in parliament. That is the genesis of all of these things, in my opinion. And it underscores the failure and the incompetency of the EC. This cannot be debated, right? You know that Anyagba, Richard Anyagba, the NPP's comms director, it's on record that his name wasn't in the voters register.
But he voted.
But he voted.
In the whole constituency.
I voted.
Also, get to.
I don't know but it's on record.
It's get to South.
It's on record. But I voted, right? You don't know.
Yes, so it's an issue that has been brought up to the EC.
Yes.
And to date, they say they are still investigating.
But that's investigating after 4 years, almost 4 years.
Yes.
And the investigators, let's say it's even one person.
Yes.
Who this happened to.
And the law is clear. The law says that if you are not from that constituency and you vote, or you are caught trying to vote, you're supposed to be arraigned before a court and prosecuted.
So you see what I told you in the previous edition, that these things, when it comes to numbers, right? If you want to report numbers, your only chance is a first attempt. Once you come again to report numbers, to correct what you've reported, you are denting the integrity of what you are communicating. So you cannot get number reporting wrong. I always say this, when it comes to numbers, if I tell you, if it's money matter, and you ask me, oh Charlie, the money, if I want to then we get, I tell you, oh, we had 10,000. Then I come and tell you, oh Charlie, I'm sorry, it wasn't 10,000, it was 10 cedis. It wasn't 10,000, it was 1,000. And I don't machine the money well. How will you feel? You start doubt to start coming up in your mind. How did 10,000 move to 1,000?
That's 9,000 off.
Right? So when it comes to numbers, I've already told you, get the report right on the first attempt. We saw some discrepancies when they were publishing the voter registration at a time where they mixed the numbers for males and they ascribed it to the female gender. And I told her, something is wrong here. Now we are seeing something again in the constituency of Litoji, where we have about 800 people, and now they publish voters register, and we have over 2,000 people in that place. And the EC is being called out to come and respond to why it is so. To the extent that we are calling for auditing, right? These things are only build-ups to something catastrophic. We are trying so hard not to get to that crescendo, but it looks like that is where the EC wants to take this to. And we discussed something about institutional incompetency or inefficiencies affecting the outcome of the results in this 2020.
We did. Our last
so we have institutions like the security services, the Peace Council, that are supposed to be very vocal and voicing out and supporting certain calls in this regard, that hey, for matters to lie bare, for people's doubts to be vanquished. What is the problem with an audit? Is it so difficult to conduct an audit into this one? I don't know. The MPP campaigned and called for a new voter register before the 2016 election. It was a massive thing. We ended up getting a new voter register. Voters' ID cards were changed. And all of that. They justified it with a whole lot of security. Then we did it. We are calling for an audit, not even a complete change of the register. It's an audit. You don't want. Peace Council is quiet. Then when tensions rise to the point where things degenerate and gets very chaotic, now they'll be tagging and labeling people as perpetrators of violence and things. It shouldn't get there.
It shouldn't get there. Brian, I'm sorry, Dry. We're gonna have your last take on today's episode.
Oh, my last on today's episode actually would have to be the Galamsey Wahala. See, Galamsey is really, really bad. It's very, very terrible. I think we need to, as a nation, all band together as one people to really fight against Galamsey. I think we should move beyond the advocacy. We should move beyond the trend. We should move beyond the demonstrations and take matters into our own hands and then hit the ground, chase these people that are desecrating our lands and leaving us into places of hopelessness regarding the state of our ecosystem and all of that and environment. We should just chase them out of the country, right? I'm not against you mining in small scale, but Charlie, it should be responsible. It should be ethical. It should just conform with environmental protection and safeguarding. That is simple. You cannot be mad in our water bodies and you know the confidence and temerity these people have
to come to another person's country.
They'll just go. I'm not even attacking the how do you call it? The foreigners or our own people. There was a video where people were called that gold has been found here.
Yes, and
a lot
you
of
saw
people were
rushing
running
inside, with buckets and
Be serious.
Yeah.
Our own people.
No,
but I think
that video is not Ghana though.
No Ghana. Yeah. Thank you for the correction. Thank you for the correction.
Oh, it's not Ghana.
No.
Yeah, thanks for the correction. But this is the thing, right? If I know that these people, these peasants, do not have the capacity to acquire chamfans and excavators to mine or to engage themselves in these activities. When the people, the big men bring them, right? For the sake of posterity, reject it, hoot at them, sell them out, and let the public go after them, call them, cancel them. Then we'll get to the bottom of this matter.
Then we get to the bottom of this. Brian, your final words.
Yeah, so I think my final words will also be on the Galamsey. Just as Dry said, my uncle is a farmer close to one of these Galam. I don't know why he's laughing, but I see him complain most of the times, and it's very sad because water to, how do you call it, for the crops, he doesn't know where to get, because this water is polluted. And Galamsey, they use chemicals and those things in. So you see, so it's hard for him. So even the farming, he wants to stop. And drinking water. People, as I said earlier on, Ghana water have to use 5 times the chemical to purify the water. And there's money. Do you get it? So I think we should all come together and actually fight Galamsey. And I think Adodi too should honor his word. As he said, he will put his presidency on the line to fight Galamsey.
Ladies and gentlemen, it couldn't get any worse than you've heard. How much more money do these people want to raise? How much more money can politicians what's that word again?
Political cabal.
Cabals. How much more money? Almost fumsika. Yeah, fumsika. And we're not thinking of the future. Because of that, today, government is derelict in its duty to bring an end to Galamsey. Government is allowing people mine in areas where we grow our plantain, our cassava, and our cocoyam. Galamsey has become the everyday topic being discussed everywhere. To say the very least, politicians think that it's that time again. And when I call this that, I call that this, people will just laugh. And on December 7th, we go and we choose whoever we want. Like we've been saying on this show, it cannot be politics as usual every other day. This time is politics unusual. We want something new. We want a change. And the change is what we will keep fighting for. It's been Jude, Brian, and Dry on Politics on 45 TV. See you next week.